And you're good.
All right, guys, good evening. Welcome to our Healthy Living event brought to us by the Juice Plus Company and its products, and also Health Spot Chiropractic and Wellness Center out here in Studio City, California. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Josh Duhan. I am a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus Company. I've had that honor and privilege for just a few short years, but I have been a Juice Plus consumer now all my life, a good portion of my life, let's say that. I started out on these capsules at about 10 years old. My company is not a new one by any means. My family was actually with the Juice Plus Company before Juice Plus products were even on the market. Prior to Juice Plus Company, it was called the NSA Company, and it stood for National Safety Association. And actually, the first product that this company came to market with was a fire alarm, which obviously was very successful. In the 80s, Jay Martin, the company founder, transitioned from a fire alarm product line into air and water filtration systems, and that's about the time my family got involved. A lot of you who know my aunt, her name is Cheryl Cortese, my aunt Cheryl, my father Robert, her brother, my mother, all of us were health advocates. Especially my mom, a crazy health nut. But everybody believed in clean air, clean water. So at the time, the air and water filtration systems, they made a lot of sense to us. We used them, we enjoyed them, and we shared that information with other people. And that turned into a very successful business for my family. And then in the early 90s, Jay Martin moved us one more time into the field of health technology. With the Juice Plus product line. And really, guys, what we have here is just a juicing replacement is really the easiest way to think about this. What I hold in my hand here this evening is commonly referred to as the Core 4 product line. We've got our veggie blend in the green bottle, our fruit blend, our berry blend in the purple bottle, and then the orange bottle, we've got our brand new full spectrum plant-based omega. No fish oil of any kind in our omegas. And when a person takes a day dosage of this, they're going to be taking 2 capsules out of each of these bottles, and that's going to give them the synergy of about 30 different food groups, the equivalent of about 3 fresh pressed juices a day. And so for those of us who are juicing fans, I love to drink juice. The downside of it is if you make it yourself, obviously the prep process and the cleanup process is in time. On top of that, if you're looking to maybe just go buy it from some place like Whole Foods, that starts to get pretty cost prohibitive at about $8 to $10 a juice. So to be able to get 3 of these a day, the equivalent of 3 juices a day for about $3.48, for those of us that are health conscious and into living at the highest edge of our physical existence, this represents a very easy vehicle to do that. I also use the Complete powder every day. This is a plant-based protein. The thing I love about the Complete is it goes hand in hand with the capsules. I often tell people this is going to be the gas for your engine. It's got some caloric count to it. It's a macronutrient, and the micronutrients in the capsules, this would be the oil for your engine. And obviously oil and gas, if you know anything about an engine, both are equally important. So my routine that I use every day, I take a dose of capsules, 2 out of each bottle in the morning. I do a bag of Complete powder. I put it in my shaker bottle. I just dump water in it. It tastes great. I shake it up, I drink it, and I take my capsules. And then I train every day, 5 days a week as an Olympic lifter, so I'm under heavy load a good majority of the week. And so I actually do this same routine again in the afternoon after I finish training, just to kind of counteract some of that oxidative stress or inflammation that builds up in my body. We are fortunate in that in this business with this product line, we have attracted really a large medical community at this point. The thing I love to tell people out of the gate is, you don't have to rely on just my personal feelings about Juice Plus. We actually have a lot of clinical data. As a matter of fact, we have the most researched nutraceutical product in the marketplace today. If you ask Siri what the most researched product in the world is, she'll tell you it's the Juice Plus product line, which I think is super cool. And along those lines, I want to introduce our guest speaker for the evening. Her name is Dr. Tamara Sachs. She graduated with honors from Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York City, and she completed her residency in internal medicine in New Haven, Connecticut at Yale University Medical Center. at St. Ralph Hospital. Prior to obtaining her bachelor's degree in molecular biology and philosophy at Hunter College in NYC, Dr. Sachs studied naturopathic medicine for several years in France. She was an emergency medicine doctor in New Haven for 5 years and then a primary care doctor for 10 years after that. Since 2003, she's been a functional medicine doctor, preventing and treating the root causes, not just the symptoms of chronic illness. She sees patients in her office in New Milford, Connecticut, as well as virtually using telemedicine all over the world. And her website is full of a lot of great information. You guys can go to this website after this event. It's tsaxmd.com. Dr. Tamara, thank you so much for coming on with us this evening, and I'll turn it over to you so you can share your story with us.
Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Good evening, everybody. It's nice to have a full house here in this new Zoom technology. I'm going to actually not share my story right now. I'm going to do a little bit of that at the end when I talk a little bit about the training topic, which is why would a doctor even look at Juice Plus, let alone take it and endorse it? First, I want to introduce you to some of our team and some of the folks that have been kind enough to come on this evening and share their story of why Juice Plus made sense to them and why they're in the business as well. So first, I want to turn to Rachel Cooper. Rachel is a single mom to a 14-year-old son. She's a New Jersey native. Hey, New Jersey, East Coast. I'm a New Yorker. But I visited with her recently in North Carolina. She lives on the coast in a beautiful area, just absolutely gorgeous. We had dinner on the water for the sunset, and I will not forget that scene very soon. So, Rachel, please just tell us your story.
All right. Hey, you guys. How we all doing tonight? Thanks for having me. So my name is Rachel, and about 2 years ago, I took a pretty devastating blow to my personal life, and I found myself in not a great place. My girlfriend, Karen, she was having an event, and she said, why don't you come on out? So I went. So as the event started and the presentation was going on, everything that was being said really made a lot of sense to me. I mean, I come from a pretty healthy family. My mom always had vegetables and salad on the dinner plate every night. So when I heard that this was just fruits, vegetables, and berries in a capsule, cleaner than organic, I was kind of like, wow, this is kind of cool. So the presentation went on, and it kind of took a little bit a turn on me to the business side and philosophy of the company. And the philosophy of the company was so simple that I thought, wow, I think I might need this in my life. So right then and there, I went ahead and I ordered my product, and I signed up and joined the Juice Plus family as a partner. Now, when I tell you I had no idea what I was getting myself into, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But it cost $50 to join for the year, and I thought, who cares? And I will tell you what, it was the best $50 I have ever spent. Not only do I feel better, but my family is healthier, and I have really met some amazing, amazing people. And what I like about the community is that they're really genuine. They care about you, they support you, and they really want to see you succeed. So since joining the Juice Plus family, it's been about 1.5 years, and I feel that I have flourished personally. I still work my full-time job. I'm a radiation therapist, but now I'm pursuing things that I'm passionate about. So I really love to help people become a better version of themselves, both inside and out. And I can say that Juice Plus has done that for me also. I am a work in progress, please. I am completely a work in progress, but I'm healthy. My family is healthy, and I'm very happy with where my future is going, both professionally and personally. The one thing that I'm truly grateful to Juice Plus for is that I am becoming the best version of me. And my son sees that, and he wants to follow in my footsteps. And that, to me, I'm truly grateful for. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Rachel. Thank you. And I can relate to your son seeing what you're doing, and that's the best way to teach them, right? Don't tell them, but show them. I had the same experience with my daughter, so that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for all those kind words. I would kudo you. You're definitely growing into into leadership. So good for you. Next, I want to turn to Sue Devine. Sue Devine was a music director in the music, I'm sorry, back up. Sue Devine was a creative executive in the music industry. My mouth is not working today. For 25 years, she was in New York City involved in the music industry. She was an executive there. And then more recently, she moved to Virginia Beach, in part to take care of her dad. And I hope to pursue some more fun endeavors as well with this new business venture. So Sue, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story? You may have to unmute yourself. Where are you?
Yeah, thank you. I definitely am enjoying rehabilitating from city life here in Virginia Beach. So I'm Sue Devine, and I'm glad y'all are here. I lived in New York City for 21 years, and I worked in the music business. I had a really wonderful career in the music business. I loved it. And I ended up having a string of injuries, and I got into physical therapy. And I was working with a physical therapist. And at the same time, I was reading a lot of books about nutrition and health and wellness, and nutrition predominantly, and trying to support myself better in that way. I was often eating broccoli and spinach and cauliflower and spinach and broccoli and cauliflower and broccoli and a lot of jars of tomato sauce tossed in there. So I thought I was doing fine and I seemed healthy, but here I was with a string of injuries and not really recovering. So when my physical therapist turned me on to Juice Plus, veggies, fruits, and berries in capsules, and I had just been reading so much about that being exactly what I needed, I thought, wow, like, is this for real? And I looked at the science, it looked good, it made sense to me, and I got started right away. And was just really grateful to have such an easy way to flood my body with the nutrition that it needed. I moved to Virginia Beach 4 years ago, and in a three-year time period, that beginning 3 years, when I got here, I had 2 injured feet, and the tissues in my feet had healed, but I was left with high levels of chronic pain, and I was using a wheelchair. So when I got here in that first 3-year period, the first year and a half, I used a wheelchair, and I did all my physical therapy as aquatic physical therapy in a pool. After that year and a half, I transitioned to land, and I did more and more physical therapy on land. And at the end of that 3-year period, I could walk an hour a day, and I could run 30 minutes once a week. So you can imagine that was a lot of hard work. I did some physical therapy every single day. I didn't know I wanted that success. I didn't know if I would have it. But the very, very big half of my success was healing my body nutritionally. At that same time, I was working in tandem with the doctor of functional medicine here locally, and there were several tools that we used that were critically important to my success, and one of those was my Juice Plus veggies and capsules. So at that time, when I came to learn how important nutrition and healing my body nutritionally was to my ultimate success, I was so grateful for the physical therapist who turned me on to Juice Plus to begin with, because it was an immeasurably helpful part of my success. Now I've partnered with the Juice Plus company, because as soon as I was able to put work into my schedule, I wanted to be able to share this with others. It's such a great, it's just great nutrition that we all need. And so many people really need this a lot to help them in their wellness. So one of the things I love about my work is I'm able to live here with my dad and work from home and be here with him. He's aging and needs some support. I'm very, grateful that I'm able to provide that for him. Also, I love being able to set all my own hours and keep my own health and fitness a priority. And when I worked in the music business, I loved it. I had a great career. And at the beginning, there was a lot of raises and promotions and raises, and life was good. I was happy. And then the music business kind of hit a lot of challenges and was declining. And there was a lot of budget cuts and budget cuts and budget cuts. And there was no shortage of hard work, but there were no more promotions and raises. And one of the things I love a lot about the Juice Plus business is that if I want a raise or a promotion, I can just work harder and get it. And I did just that very recently, so I'm very excited about that. I've gotten some bonuses along the way, but one of the things I'm most stoked about is that when I get to the next promotion level, which I will, it's going to come with $1,000 bonus, and in addition to that, $500 a month that I get to reinvest in my business. So I'm super grateful for the opportunity, and that's my story. Thank you, guys.
Great. Thank you so much. That's a great healing story, as well as a flexible time life move where you want to take care of family story. So thank you. I'm glad you're better. Next, I want to turn to Marlene Hall. Marlene is also a sales coordinator. I'm sorry I didn't introduce all you guys with titles, but and she is from Pennsylvania, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I'm probably saying that wrong. It's Lancaster or whatever. You'll tell me, Marlene. And there's a way to say it, and there's a wrong way to say it. I think I probably said it wrong. Marlene lives with her husband and 3 sons. 2 are grown and 1's still a teen. And she's passionate about, I think, many things, but I know her to be passionate about helping others, serving others. And her Bible study is also something that she takes very seriously and works very hard with her group to perpetuate. So thank you for joining us, Marlene. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and your story.
Cool. Thank you, Tamara, for that introduction. And you were really close. It's Lancaster. Lancaster.
Okay. Lancaster.
Good job. Thank you so much. And hey, all, I just wanted to share with you, I call it my health resurrection story, because I truly do feel like I was resurrected. I was introduced to the Juice Plus products in April of 2017. Relative of mine approached me. Actually, she invited me to an event, and I know I said no to her for a while, and just for some reason I thought, you know what, I'm going to reach out to her. We're having some health struggles, and reached out to her, and she told me about the Juice Plus products. I was attracted to the product because it's just so easy and simple. It's in a capsule. Like, how much easier can you get than that? I was also looking for a way to really improve my family's health. My husband in particular, who just loves sugar more than vegetables, he's still a work in progress, and he's still a little inconsistent with his capsules, but he sees me and the results that I have, and I just gently remind him, and that's all I can do. You know, we're each on our own health journey. The business was really appealing to me because at that same time where I started with I started a new job. So I was also in the hair industry, and I thought, well, if this doesn't really pan out, I'll have this to kind of fall back on. So I thought, why not just join and make money back on my product? And at the same time, if the hair thing doesn't work out for me, then I've got something else on the side. Thankfully, I made that choice. I decided to not pursue the hair industry, even though I was there for about 3 years managing a salon. It's just a lot of time and a lot of energy into putting into building other people's dreams. And my leader, Beth, was really instrumental in helping me see that. And I'm thankful that she had a couple really great talks with me and just really encouraged me to find something else. So I'm now currently working at my chiropractor's office, and his values align with mine. It's awesome. About 12 years ago, I got really ill. I had shingles on my face, full body candida. I was just really, really sick, and it just became really evident to me that I needed to take my health really seriously. I've had autoimmune disease for about 24 years. So I just knew I had to do something. You know, I went the route of taking like medicine, and I'm thankful and grateful for that. But after about 1.5 years of spending a lot of money, I realized I needed to kind of look into other methods and just really try and see if there was something I could do other than the traditional just medicine that's so hard on your body. So again, that came up through the fruits and vegetables in a capsule, the Juice Plus. I started eating that regularly. I noticed a difference right away. I know some people don't, but I personally had like tons of energy. I just could go all day long. So I didn't need to really base my day around when my nap was going to be, because I would constantly be needing naps, like going from one thing that I was doing to coming home and taking a nap, and then just really limiting my day. So my health improved, like my energy, my allergies got better. My diet, I started craving like good food instead of sugar all the time. So I'm just so grateful for that. My sons have also had a great experience. My youngest son has struggled with a lot of anxiety and sleep. When I started the capsules, I started him on the gummies and then transitioned him to the capsules. He was on medicine at that time for anxiety and for sleep. About a year and a half into him taking the product, he went on a trip with his dad, and I don't know if they forgot the meds or he just didn't take them, but he just said, I don't need these anymore. So he is currently not on medication at all, which is really cool. Recently, we had a situation with his hands. He had eczema on the back of his hands. I said, you know what? Someone else on our team has tried this. I opened up the Omega capsules, put it on his hands, and about 10 days into that, he was significantly better. So we're still putting the Omegas on his hands with great success. Our middle son has struggled with ADHD and addiction to drugs. So that was really difficult when I was started, with the Juice Plus products. I think he just thought, what the heck, I'm going to take them. So even while he was on his whole drug kick thing, he was still taking the Juice Plus products. But honestly, it was just a huge catalyst for him. He is now drug-free. He's vegan. He takes the quad. He is very, very passionate about health and wellness, and he's truly a life that has been transformed. I really don't like, doing this whole speaking in front of people. It's just a little out of my comfort zone. But when I was approached about doing this, I thought, you know what, I really should, because growth doesn't happen unless we step out of our comfort zone. And I recently was told this, that if you're afraid of doing something, just do it afraid. What harm is that going to be? And it's only going to help you grow. So I just love a couple more things. I just love the way the company has really provided and given us opportunity to grow, not in our business, but in our personal life. And I really could go on and on, even though I don't like talking in front of you all. It's just awesome. So I'm thankful for this opportunity. And I wanted to leave you guys with an encouragement to not let your feelings dictate your days. Choose to follow through despite how you feel. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Marlene. I love that. Do it even though you're afraid. You know what that's called? That's called courage.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Last for the evening of my team, at least, not for the evening, is a good friend, Peter Kirol. So Peter's from New Jersey. Peter, I've been trying to find your bio and I can't find it. So from the top of my head, I know you've been in sales very successfully, in high-end sales, $1 million sales for 25, 30 years. I know you have a bunch of daughters. You're going to have to remind me of the rest when you tell us your story. I apologize. I've been trying to find it, but I didn't want to not listen at the same time. So Peter,
I'll cover it all as fast as I can.
No, take your time. You have a really important story, and I'm really glad you're sharing it tonight. I've heard it before. I haven't heard some of your other stories before we did this call, but Peter, I've heard your story, and I specifically asked you tonight because I heard your story already, and I think it's a really powerful, important story to share. So thank you for being on tonight. Please, go right ahead.
It's absolutely my pleasure, and it's always an honor to be asked to speak on these calls, and I want to thank the first three ladies for sharing their stories. They're really powerful, and I really appreciate them. So my story is this. I'm going to tell you a little tidbit about me first and foremost. I'm a husband first and foremost. I'm a father of 4. My kids range in age from 21 to 13. 2 in college, 1 in high school, 1 in middle school. They're absolutely the center of my universe. And one other little tidbit is, and you'll know why I'm sharing this in a few minutes. When I was a little boy, the one thing I wanted to do most in the world was be an entertainer, because I like to make people smile. There was 2 inherent problems with that. First, 40 some odd years ago, that wasn't a career. So your parents said to you, well, that's great for a hobby, but make sure you get a job when you get older. And the other big problem was I had absolutely no talent. So, and you'll understand in a minute. So anyway, my story with Juice Plus actually started in 2011, but for you to fully understand the impact it had for me, I'm going to go prior to that a few years. In 2007, I was 37 years old. I had 4 kids under the age of 12. I was working 70 to 90 hours a week in sales. My quota for the year was in the neighborhood of $15 million a year, which is not easy to do in the business I was in. And I literally never, ever saw my family. I missed birthdays. I missed holidays. I was late for things constantly. I was with clients literally 7 days a week. Day before, 2, 3 days before Thanksgiving that year, I found out at age 37 I had stage 2/stage 3 testicular cancer. Every time I say it, I get choked up. I apologize, but you know, I was scared. I didn't know what was going to happen. But the one thing I did know was if I got through it, and thank goodness I did, I knew I needed to take my health more seriously. Not just for myself, but I had to be there for those kids and for my wife. So if you fast forward, so I started my health journey. My wife is very into nutrition and fitness, and I kind of followed suit with her. And fast forward a few years, and Beth Meyer, who's actually on here, and my wife, they were friends when they went to sleepaway camp when they were kids. And they kind of reconnected through Facebook, and Beth came down one summer day and to visit with her daughter, Sydney. And she started telling me about these fruits and vegetables in a capsule and how it was easy to get it in. And I was like, no brainer, right? I was already on my health journey. And then she mentioned that there was a business associated with it. And I was like, what? I was like, tell me a little bit about that, because my wife and I literally were 2 weeks away from buying a gym franchise or a yogurt shop. We were going back and forth between one or the other. And, you know, because we wanted to be able to say yes to more things for our kids. And then when she said, you know, $50 a year, potential 6-figure income, you know, you make of it what you want. We were all in. We jumped in. Started taking the product, started talking to friends and family and people about it. And then fast forward another few months, and day before Thanksgiving that year, I got a phone call that my mother died out of the blue. And you know, I didn't even know she was that sick. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye. It really derailed me. It really did. And then unfortunately, 9 months later to the day, you know, my dad died. And it just totally killed me. I didn't have the staying power to stay with the business. But you know what? That's one of the beauties of this business. You know, when life happens and you have to step out, you can step out. And you know, we were on the product, off the product. I was in touch with Beth. I really didn't do anything with it for another 4 years. And then in 2016, when the company I was with for 20 years came to me one day and said, hey, listen, you know, we're going to let you go, with no warning, no nothing. And I didn't have my plan B in place. The first person I called when I walked out of that office, it wasn't my wife. I called Beth. And I said, I want back in, because I didn't ever want to be put in that position again. I didn't want to put my family in that position again. And, you know, what I realized at that moment, and this will link you back to my childhood dream of being an entertainer, was that for all those years until the age of 47, I was letting somebody else write my story. I was not writing my own story. Other people were. And it took those events in my life for me to realize I needed to take my life back and really start to write my own story and my family story. So, you know, I jumped back in, and, you know, it's been a wild ride ever since. So we, you know, some of the things it's done for us is, you know, my 2 younger kids, 16 and 13, they're into, they're what they call triple threats, acting, singing, dancing. So we've been able to fund that, which, if you don't know, can be somewhat expensive. So we've been able to fund things like that, vacations, things of that nature. But what it's really done for us is it's allowed us to dream again, not only myself, but as a family. My oldest son, when he graduates college this year, he's graduating from Cornell. He'll be commissioned in the United States Marine as a second lieutenant. And then he gets shipped off to flight school somewhere in the world. And I don't know where that is yet. But I want to have the ability, the financial, the time freedom to get up and go whenever I want to go visit him wherever he may be. So, you know, I don't know how many guests we have on here, but if you got stuck in that rut like I did, and you will let other people write your story for so many years, I want to tell you two things. One, it's never too late. And two, dream again, because that's really what this business has afforded us. Thank you for allowing me to share, Tamara. I appreciate it.
Oh my God, Peter. I don't know if you can see while you're speaking, probably not, but the chat's gone wild with thank yous for sharing from your heart, and you're going to pass on your story. I knew that touched a lot of people because it touched me. It still touches me, and I know it still chokes you up, but that's why we tell stories, folks. You know, we tell stories because we're hardwired for stories that move us, teach us. If it doesn't move us, it doesn't teach us anything, and it doesn't help us grow. But stories that touch our heart make all the difference, and that's why we read novels. That's why we watch plays. That's why we paint paintings, to move people, right? To develop some emotional connection with people. That's what matters in the world. I mean, I didn't know that when I was 20 and 30. Now that I'm older, I realized that the only thing that really matters is your connection to other people, your love, your family, your friends, those connections. So thank you all four of you for sharing your stories tonight. I appreciate it. So it is 9:03. So officially, I'm going to start my training, but I'm going to tell you my story first. Kirol, is that okay?
Dr. Tamara,
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
sorry, would you just give us a moment here? We're going to actually, Carol's going to sign off.
Okay.
She's going to sign back on. So when we post this, we can have two separate